Hello, everyone. Welcome to Slamfire Radio, episode 484 for December 1st, 2022. I'm one of your hosts, Adriel.
I'm another host, Kyle.
And Mo is trying to convince the pigeons that are relaying his internet to go faster.
Yeah.
We may see him, depending if he can get those pigeons going or not. And Kelly is out on assignment. Why don't we start with things off with what we did in guns? Kyle, do you want to take us through what you did in guns this week?
Sure, because it's not much. Hunting season is officially over. And, well, unless you had a draw for late December, which I got looking, and the draws I was looking at are actually sold out, which was funny because there was a lot of tags on there. But, yeah, other than that, I've actually been doing the sacrilege thing and going through looking at firearms to sell. I posted up my WK for sale. And that's actually interesting because good PSA for people who might be looking to sell guns.
Mm-hmm.
Do your due diligence, because I got one reply, offer, yep, cash today. I told them, okay, cool. Send your pal, date of birth, email, all that stuff. And then it was crickets. So now, I messaged them back later on, and like this was on Gun Post, so they tell you when they've read the message. But I went back later on, like late last night, and said, okay, so I'm guessing that the lack of response was because you don't have a pal. Let me know. But yeah.
I wonder if it was a lack of a pal or someone who didn't want the tracking.
Yeah, it could be that. But while I'm against that, there's no firearm attached to it, and it doesn't mean the sale actually went through.
Correct. But
I get people's
trepidation around the tracking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, just going through looking at stuff to potentially sell because as Mark Plant is saying here, he's asking why I'm selling the WK. There's a couple reasons. One of them being that if I'm not going to be able to use it, I don't want to be stuck with it in the bag. I have a couple other rifles that I'd prefer to be sitting there collecting dust in a ban or whatever. So if I can make a few dollars off of it, then cool, helps me out right now. And it is, as far as Mark, it is a Gen 1. And I've shown it on the show. It's pretty updated, has all the required parts to actually make them fairly reliable depending on the mag you use, which that's just all of them like that. But and chimney trigger, like I put the I wasn't putting the Calvin Elite with it, but I had one of the AR competition chimney triggers sitting here, so it's still a nice short reset, 3-pound trigger pull, so it's not the 1.5 pounds, but still a nice trigger and a lot better than what was in it factory. Yeah, other than that, that's we're butchering up a buddy's deer on Saturday, and I actually have a deer in the freezer that I was planning on making sausage, so Saturday we're gonna go butcher a deer and make a ton of sausage. So
it's the only way to do it. It's just like batch it, do like 40 pounds, 50 pounds, and then just work.
Oh yeah, it'll be a fun day. Yeah, we'll have 2 deer worth of meat for sausage, and he's picking up a bunch of pork, so we're gonna make some pork sausage and mix the pork in with the deer. So they'll be good. They'll be really good. But looks like Mo's got the pigeons cooperating. So Mo, what did you do in guns?
And I'm another host, Mo. Am I too late for that part? No? Yes? Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I'm now standing on the roof holding a coat antenna. So I went to my local matches, my local ranges match this weekend. On the Friday, I helped with the build, which I usually do, and then there's always a couple of Friday squads that shoot, so I stuck around to help patch and reset for that match. And then I went back on Saturday to shoot in the afternoon. It went okay. It was 5 stages. There was one stage it was interesting because one stage they had set up that where they were single shots and they used small the mini IPSC targets and they spelled the word IPSC. So that was interesting. Another stage was they had done something I hadn't done before. Well, not in one stage. There was you had to shoot single hand in one section, freestyle in another, and then weekend in the other. So I had never done that in one single stage. I had done separate, but so that was pretty cool. That was really it. Then I stuck around to help the teardown, and then what did I do this week? I did some more dry fire practice. Um, been moving my targets around and stuff. I've been trying to focus on, I guess I've been over focusing on grip. Even my friend Louis noticed that like my shoulders were pretty tense. So I'm focusing on grip and then over tensing on the shoulders. So now I'm trying to balance a good grip, keeping it in the wrists and forearms and not so much in the shoulders.
How did he
That
bring it
makes
up? Did he
sense.
come over to you and say like, "Oh, Mo, you look really tense there. Do you want a little massage on the shoulders?"
Yeah,
there?"
no, but he always thinks I look tense, which I actually do. I think I'm way too intense when it comes to that stuff. So yeah, I've been really trying to focus on keeping my grip because I think it is working. But then yeah, if I'm tightening my shoulders, then that part is definitely not good. I
It's
noticed that.
amazing. It's
Sorry,
amazing
go
the
ahead.
difference when you relax your shoulders, how much of a difference that makes.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because then even in like dry fire, I noticed that when my shoulders are tense, I tend to go past the targets, right? So that you got that little bit
Mhm.
of drift past, and then you bring it back. So you're obviously wasting time doing that. And where I'm relaxed, I just kind of get in the center where I need to be. Um, then I did some. We've been doing a lot of. There's been a lot of stages where we're starting like empty, so gun unloaded either in the holster or on a table or barrel, right? And then obviously you're drawing or picking up and charging. So I've been I practice kind of like doing that and stuff with with my dummy rounds and stuff. So I've been working on that. I've been I spent I'm still on the lookout for more 9 mil ammo. Uh, there was I forget what store it was that had they had done 3,000 rounds and it worked out to about I guess 360 a case, but then they sold out. So I have to keep an eye on that for future buys.
Hmm.
Um, that's really I have another match coming up this weekend, and that's it for me. How about you, Adriel?
A couple things. Let's see. I went to the range. It was a very Soviet range visit. I took out the
Soviet.
SKS SVT-40 and my Soviet over-under. Soviet over-under? Excellent. Great at breaking clays. Love it. Getting used to like
Nice.
the double trigger on there. A couple times I expected it to just like fire again when I pull that one trigger, and it doesn't. You have to go with the back one there. But
Oh, that's got the double trigger.
mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yep. It was good. Other than the forend cracked and the pin that was holding it together started walking out of the forend.
Oh,
So when I got back to my place, I re-glued it and then clamped it and pounded that pin back in. And I don't know if it'll hold it together or not. It's it was an inexpensive over under. We'll say that. I think it was like
yeah.
$300, maybe under $300.
I
Yeah.
seem to recall something around there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Fun though. And then the SKS and the SVT-40. So my SKS has tech sights on it. Those that like ghost or peep at the back and front post. Uses like a fine front post on the front because I've changed it out. So
Oh, okay.
super duper accurate, really nice. The SVT-40, I haven't shot that thing in like a long time. It is so nice to shoot. I would say it has less recoil than the SKS. It's
Really?
so flat. It's so flat. Like it's got a big bad muzzle brake on it. I got a 6 skill, so it's like it's got a big brake on it. But just like I've got it. You can tune the gas port as well. It's got like 4 positions on it, and I've got it so like the empty just comes dribbling out the side. So there's no
Nice.
like, it's not hammering back. And oh my God, it was so flat. You could get double taps out of that thing so quick. Whereas the
Nice.
SKS like flies, like it rocks back pretty good compared to the SVT, which is surprising because the SVT uses like a much bigger, more powerful cartridge. So anyways, I did that. Went hunting. I brought out my slug shotgun. I don't know where it is back there, but I've got a single shot slug shotgun with a red dot on it. And I was at my brother's place, and I was primarily looking for deer. But he also said, like, if I see any coyote, like, I gotta nail it because they've been eating his cats. And I just saw coyotes, so I got a perfect shot on one. Oh, I saw it coming down. I was in a blind, like a pop-up blind kind of a thing. I saw it coming down the trail. I'm like, is that a deer? Is that a coyote? Nope, coyote. Perfect. Well, it'd be great if it stopped right there. Guess what? I went right to where I needed to, and it stopped right there. I'm like, okay, well,
Perfect.
you have no excuses now. And yeah, I hammered him pretty good with the slug. So
nice.
that's the first time I've done that. Almost all of my coyotes are like, I'm deer hunting and I shoot a coyote because I'm just in the right place at the right time. But that was the first time I got one with a slug. I put out a video on the gun ban amendment. It's doing pretty good. It's getting some views, getting a lot of comments. Oh my God, it's over 1,000. My next most commented video has like 400 comments on it, but this one, it seems like everyone who watches it wants to like put their 2 cents in the comments on it. Yeah, a lot of people calling for it's communism and we got to separate and the U.S. should invade and that kind of thing.
Have they been besmirching the name of our prime minister, possibly?
And they have been talking about, intercourse with him, I think.
Oh, I see. I see.
Oh, they love him that much. Oh, okay.
I think so. I think
that's severe affection.
Oh, so that's what the F word means? See, I don't.
Yeah, I think so.
Wow, I'm dumb.
I don't really think that's appropriate to put on a video, but yeah, that's what they've been doing. Let's see what else we got going. I'm going to go to a 3-gun annual meeting tonight. That's primarily to like figure out what to do for next year. I'm not sure if it's on the agenda, but I think like one of the things we should probably start thinking about is if this amendment goes through, like what do we do next? Because there's not really a good answer. There's not really a good answer afterwards. If
you know what we need to develop?
Through, what's that?
You know those speed loader sticks for shotguns that like Jerry Mitchell use those for like a lever action?
Winchester 94s.
Oh, seriously?
Oh, you just need to weld a ramp on the outside of it, like a chute to hold the stick.
Yeah.
You could do that. You could do that.
And you're gonna have these on your belt.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you do it with the shotgun. They stick down your thigh and just grab a tube and
it's like a quiver. It's like a quiver of arrows, except they're shells.
Like a quiver. Wow.
Mm-hmm. I hope I don't know. That's what a lot of people have been saying, and it's like there's cowboy action for that. If you want to shoot lever guns, there's cowboy action. You can't reload them. You can't reload them on the clock. So like hopefully whatever ammo's got in there is good enough. But like any reloads, is just you can't do it. And that's really the problem with all the guns we're gonna have left. If they like, I went back and looked at C21, the bit that went into effect, and they said the magazines bit that they're gonna do, the limiting to 5 rounds, that's OIC.
Oh,
so that's like any time
they're just
fucked.
Yeah.
So the guys out there with like the Ruger Americans that run the AR mags, like okay, that's a great game. Like that is the gamer gun to run for 3-gun after this, or even like the Mavericks and that kind of thing. But if those mags go to 5 rounds. Crack out the chest rigs because you're gonna need a lot of mags to get. Well, there's just not gonna be any other option. We're not gonna be able to do anything else, right? They're like I have a fair number of like milsurps back there. I don't think any of them are great for 3-gun. Might be able to run an Enfield with 5-round because the stripper clips aren't bad on an Enfield. Maybe. And it's got like at least a 10-round mag, and it's not center fire, so I don't think they would cut that one down. I think the sport would just have to like fundamentally change. You'd have to go to rimfire or something like that. Something just completely different. Anyways, that fun is tonight. After that, on Saturday, I'm going to go to the Stony Plain Gun Show. I'm going to run a booth for the CCFR, I think, for Saturday afternoon there.
Oh, yeah.
And Yeah, maybe walk around. I should think about any like weird parts I need, and that's
Yeah.
the place to get them. I
Yeah.
need a screw for my Enfield. That's the place like a weird 4-end one, and I couldn't get it from like Numrich because they didn't have it. They'll have it at that gun show. It'll cost me like $5, but who cares?
You'll have your screw.
I need it. It's the last part I need. I was like, I was thinking about fabbing one up at this point because I can cut the threads for it and whatnot. I'll just start with like a bigger screw and just whittle it down. But Jesus, I don't want to do that for one screw on one of the things. The BCL Bison is the gamer gun. Another one, yeah. That one.
Those straight poles, I've seen guys run them pretty well.
The Bison's not a straight pull; it's a turn pull. No, but it runs its own proprietary mags, and those mags won't get affected with the wording that they have right now for magazines.
Okay, yeah.
Because it's not is it semi-auto or is it just all long gun? I can't remember.
Well, it's hard to say because they got bolt actions. I can't remember on the magazine thing. I was watching a little bit of it today, and they were saying for what it was designed for initially. Like they're sticking with that, but then they have that wording so screwed up. And
cartridge magazines, that's what they call them. Blah blah blah, make it illegal, legal limit, update regulations on cartridge magazines.
Jen is saying just semi-auto in the mag wording.
Oh, okay. Cartridge magazine. Semi-automatic. Yeah, it's semi-automatic.
Yeah.
Okay. So the BCL Bison will be the gamer gun then.
Yeah, with a proprietary mag. Yeah.
Yep, very much so. And it's a nicely sized proprietary mag as well. So you could run one of those and you'd be able to shoot enough with one of those. Boy, you'd get the barrel hot.
Yeah.
What kind of barrels do those things take? They take an AR barrel. They take something else.
I haven't even looked into them really.
Boy, if they took an AR barrel, I would look into getting one of those because I got some AR barrels that are really nice. I want to look into it.
Wheels are spinning.
Yeah. Well, that's actually a great comment, Mike, because the mag. Not bad at all. Stony Plain Gun Show this weekend. I'll be there Saturday afternoon. Why don't we get on to, let's see here. I think it's a Ruger Precision Prefit. Oh, it's a little bit too tight, isn't it? There we go.
Yeah, there.
Awesome. A Ruger Precision Prefit. It would be nicer if it would be an AR because I got all these AR barrels that I wish I could do something with.
Yeah.
But it's not just semi-autos on the list. There are bolts and single shots. Yeah, but that's the list of like banned guns. That's not the list of like what they're going to do with mags. So if they do mags that are 5-round max for all semi-autos, actually, I don't know. I wonder if they're going to do all semi-auto or all semi-auto center fire. They do all
the
semi-auto.
The whole thing was supposed to be semi-auto center fire, but obviously that didn't take effect.
They've been picking some other stuff. If they just say all semi-auto and they don't put in the center fire in there, they're going to lose the next election because there's going to be a bunch of people who are pissed about having to chop their like tube mags on their old guns and whatnot.
Yeah.
Moving on, let's get into the upcoming events. We have the Stony Plain gun shows December 3rd to 4th. I'll be there. That'll be on Saturday and Sunday. Wapiti Shooters Club Turkey Shoot December 10th. Do you got any more information on that, Hef?
I think it's like $10. We're running it all day, so the range is open from 11 till 5. Odds are 1 in 5 because we're just going to load up the indoor shooting bench with 5 people and shoot. They're just basically shooting for a blind poker hand. And bring the kids out, everything, come out, win turkey for Christmas.
Cool.
Yeah. I'll be there all day, probably scoring poker hands or doing something. Family will be there all day too, probably.
Nice. All right, and getting into the new year, the Lloydminster Gun Show will be January 21st and 22nd. And the IPSC World Shoot is wrapping up. Hope the Canadian team had a great match. Who's hoping that?
Oh. I I've been
I'm
watching.
hoping.
I figured I'd add that in there because we didn't even mention that last week that everyone was going for the IPSC World Shoot. But looks like today was a lot of the shooters' last day. And looking at some of the results, Canada's not doing too bad.
I think we didn't mention it because we were jealous because they're all in Thailand and it's
like
5 here.
Yeah, that might have been it. Like I know Corey's doing good. Like we got 2 open shooters, Tom Hess and Corey. Last I looked, Tom was in like 71st place overall, and Corey was in 73rd. And there's over 1,300 shooters at that match.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
big numbers of shooters from all over the world.
Yeah, so yeah, I know there's been some good performances from Canadians. Like I know Corey. Not everybody had shot it, but over 1,000 people had actually shot the stage, and he had the 3rd best. He was 3rd on the stage, so
wow,
good.
Yeah,
good.
He's been putting down some good stuff, but yeah,
good.
I just figured we'd mention that.
Oh, I'm just looking at the provisional results. They're not ordered or anything like that, are they?
No, you got to go to the competitor app to get them in order and everything.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. Just let us know next week how they did.
Yeah.
I'll let you know. I'll give you a recap.
Right. There we go. Jen found the exact wording on that magazine bit they're going to do. A firearm that is a rifle or shotgun that's capable of discharging centerfire ammo in a semi-auto manner and designed to accept a detachable magazine with a capacity greater than cartridges of the type for which the firearm was originally designed. Is that for the firearm or is that for the magazine? Like that's for the magazine, right? Sorry, no, that's for the firearm. That's for the firearms they're banning.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Yeah.
Let's get into the news. The first bit that, well, actually, I'll cover this other one because it's just easier. Pierre Poilievre said he's going to repeal C21.
Yeah. So all the gunnies, he said it. Leave him alone when election comes. So he's said it. Now he can just worry about winning the next election.
People will want him to say it every single day and every tour stop.
That's why I'm saying that what I'm saying right now. He said it.
No, I know why you're saying it. But it's like, why is he talking about the economy? Shouldn't he talk about guns?
No, we don't want that to be on the top.
No, I know. I agree.
Yeah. This next one, I'm actually going to share my screen because I think it'll just make it a bit easier. This is from Saskatchewan. The province introduces the Saskatchewan Firearms Act to protect law-abiding firearms owners. Saskatchewan's putting this act in with respect to recent changes by the federal government that impact lawful firearms owners. This will establish licensing requirements for businesses or individuals involved in firearms expropriation, require and oversee fair compensation for any firearms being seized, and require forensic and ballistic testing of seized firearms. And they're going to establish a provincial firearms regulatory system that will promote the safe and responsible use of firearms. I don't know what to make of this.
Yeah. I mean, in one part, it sounds like they're trying to do what they have in the States, where your firearms laws are decided by province and basically have their own firearms act. But then the other reading is like,
though. Canada firearms law is federal.
Yeah.
They're saying that fair compensation, so they're going to make sure that they get paid for and they're not just seized, I guess. Which, like, we don't know if the feds were going to do this or not. They said that they're going to do like compensation for some of the stuff, and the other was kind of like gray area. Okay, cool. Forensic and ballistic testing of seized firearms. Fucking why? I'm not sure what the point is here.
They don't already do that. I know there's a lab in Alberta that does it.
Yeah, but what's the point of running like 100,000 seized guns through the lab? They'll never get through them all.
Yeah.
They'll never get through them all. Licensing requirements for businesses or individuals. I don't know what this means.
Yeah.
This might be doing some heavy lifting that they don't want to talk about. A provincial firearms regulatory system that will promote the safe and responsible use of all. Maybe that's doing some heavy lifting that. Yeah, not sure. Mike says, "Look who wrote it." Oh, that was for the Liberal thing. Yes, I don't really know what that is supposed to do. It sounds like they're going to comply with the buyback, and they're just going to make sure that Saskatchewaners get like paid for it. I think. I don't know what else to read from this.
Yeah.
Yeah, not sure what to read from it. Alberta is a little bit more hellfire on this one. They've been talking about what is it? Provincial Sovereignty Act with Alberta, where anything that affects Albertans that we just don't want to do, or is provincial jurisdiction, we just won't do. Which I guess firearms seizure may be provincial jurisdiction, and they'll just be like, "No, we're not doing that."
Yeah, we're not doing it.
They might have that written in there. Yeah.
Yeah. We will see.
Did you see that Quebec? Did you see that Quebec supports Alberta becoming its own nation?
Is that like a Beaverton thing, or
no? It was actually whatever his name is, the leader over there.
Legault?
Francois Legault.
Maybe. Yeah, but he had a press thing. He's in response to the Sovereignty Act and said, "Yeah, Alberta should hold a referendum and do that."
Interesting.
He realizes where his money comes from, right?
Well, and he said, like, I mean, if they succeed, yeah, well, I'll be a little jealous, but.
Jen says maybe Saskatchewan wants the seizure to cost the feds way more by forcing the ballistics test of every seized firearm. Cash speaks if they're going to force the cost to become more completely prohibitive. Yeah, but that cost isn't something that the feds are going to bear. The provinces can't say, like, feds, you have to analyze all these. I think, like, if anything, the provinces will have to do it. I guess they could do it to, like, I don't know. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure how they're going to handle that. In any case, CCFR legal fund donations. The court date's been set April 11th to 20th. That'll be the CCFR versus Canada. Join, donate, and support the CCFR. Let's get into new gun stuff. New gun stuff is brought to you by Bullseye North. Need to do boomstick? Bullseye North is Canada's shooting superstore and a proud supporter of the CCFR. With a wide selection of guns and top trending gear for any shooter. They have free shipping over $200. Some exclusions apply, like ammo. Subscribe to their weekly newsletter to get first access to the hottest deals. Right now, they have 10% off Vortex Optics and Canuck shotguns. And they had a couple things that I wanted to kind of like lay out here. So I'm going to go share screen. That one. No, this one. Maybe I'll make it bigger so it's not so... they had a Dual Outdoors Flyway 90 automatic clay thrower for $384, regular price $699. This got one.
Nice.
This is pretty big.
Nice. Yeah.
So, like, if you're in the area, go check this out because that's a hell of a deal on one of these things. These are one of the ones where you like cart out like a car battery and you stick it somewhere. But like that's a lot of clays. That's a lot of clays. The other deal they had is this one. If you have a 224 Valkyrie, they have some ammo for super cheap. Hornady Black 224 Valkyrie, 75 grain, hull point boat tail, case of 10 boxes, so 200 rounds for $190.
Yeah, that's
a hell of a deal. That's good ammo. That's really good ammo for less than $1 a round.
Yeah.
Like if that was in 223, I would buy that. If they had like 223 ammo with that quality of like round and whatnot, I would buy it straight up.
Yeah.
Wolverine's selling this weird version of Crusader Arms. I want to show it because it looks neat. It's the Crusader Arms C9 SA 9mm, 18.6-inch barrel with a Vortex Razor AMG HSO2 and a micro 6X magnifier on a QR flip mount for $2,000. Seems like a good deal because that optic is like $1,000 on its own. Never mind the flip up magnifier. Yeah, looks kind of neat. I don't know if I would run like a 6X magnifier on a 9mm. Like,
what does that take for mags?
I don't know. It's got to be Glock mags. Not sure. I'm not sure which ones they take. It's got to be Glock mags though.
Yeah, you would think.
Looks kind of funny. It's got like a bit of a funny stock on it and rail guards and whatnot. Just looks very odd. It's like something you've never seen before. Anyways, go check those out at Wolverine Supplies. This next announcement just came through today. So AI Tactical Solutions sells like body armor and that kind of thing, and they have a new line of made in Canada ballistic plates that they're going to be selling that are manufactured right in Ontario. So they're going to be putting those out. They've got level 3 plus. They've got level 4, level 3 plus. They've got silicon carbide, and they've got steel plate as well.
They doing level 4 or just 3 plus?
I thought I saw level 4 there. There's level 4.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Silicon carbide. It's probably lighter than steel. Tactical Imports has their last shipment of Type 81s. The last shipment of Type 81s. They've got the Type 81 LMG fixed stock, folding stock, and optic ready. They're out of the Type 81 SR, the Dragunov lookalike. They're out of those, but they have all the other ones now. The next one I wanted to show here, S&J has a custom Savage 110 in 6.5 Creedmoor sweepstakes going on. So this is a Savage 110 in 6.5 Creedmoor. It's got like a fancy stock on it. It's got a Bushnell Nitro 2.5 to 10 scope, a Tikka Tactical comp. It shouldn't work because it's the wrong brand, but I guess you can just screw it on there. And yeah, cool Ruger tactical rifle case. All this is a really mishmash of all sorts of different brands. And yeah, looks pretty neat. Anyways, they got that sweepstakes. And then the last one. Last week we talked about ATRS and their barrels that they're making for the Ruger PC carbine. They're also making a chassis for the PC carbine.
Ooh.
Yeah, that looks cool.
That
And looks like they're going to have the mag release all extended and everything to the proper spot.
Nice.
Look how compact it is. Folding, everything. It's all sorts of cool there. It's going to be starting at $650. I think I saw the barrels that they had priced out. They were quite expensive.
Look at that mag well they put on that. Nice.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. Just a big funnel. Humongous funnel on it. Might as well.
Yeah.
If you're going to cut aluminum on it, you might as well make like a big honking magwell on the thing, right?
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is just like a machined up prototype that they got here, but it does look pretty cool. And that's all we've got for new gun stuff. We are ripping through the show today. Today we have no main topics, so we're just going to keep going on and get into listener feedback. We've been hitting some of the Facebook comments. I'll just hit a couple of the ones that we haven't hit here. Just Ty was mentioning you need to read this with a tilted head. Still doesn't make any logical sense, but at least you can cry over it without getting those pages wet.
Logical.
Okay. Tilted head, you cry right into the pages. And then Jen was saying exactly the word capable of is concerning. Yes, in terms of the mags and that kind of thing. Yep. Let's get on to emails. Mo, did you want to take this first one from Julian?
Sure will. Hey, folks, I have 2 questions, suggestions to the show. Is there a political pundit or someone you could have on the show to outline our worst case scenarios and to speculate about how quickly things could move along with this bill becoming law? I know I'm still debating what to do. I hate the thought of selling my prized gear, particularly my beloved Canadian Edition Shadow 2, but I don't want to be out many thousands of dollars that I can't recover. I might sell to those gamblers you were referring to last episode.
Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but your pistols are already locked.
Yeah.
They're already frozen. We were talking about the other semi-autos that were under that amendment.
Yeah. And then his second question was, with the recent challenge from Alberta with the Sovereignty Act, how might this bode well for us? Could other provinces follow suit to any effect? And even if not, what would that open the door for some of us to have a place to shoot, trade, or sell gear without using a passport? Are these options that involve the U.S.? Are there options that involve the U.S. in this regard, perhaps? In short, what are our options?
There's nothing involving the U.S. in that Sovereignty Act. Really, the Sovereignty Act is just Alberta saying you can't mess with stuff that is in our jurisdiction, or else we'll ignore it.
Mhm.
That's the Coles Notes version of that bill. Now, firearms law is federal, but enforcement is provincial. So it
Yep.
might be the case that Alberta would just say, that enforcement of that, we're just not going to enforce that.
Yeah.
And we're not going to charge people with stuff if we find them with an SKS or something like that.
Yep.
In terms of buying and selling, these are all like non-restricted firearms. So supposedly you could sell to someone in Alberta. I don't know if someone in Alberta should be selling to someone outside of Alberta, because then that person's going to like maybe get charged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're running a risk for them, I guess. You could, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say without the Alberta government's like outright saying like, we're just
Yeah.
not going to enforce this. If they said that, then we can come to some natural conclusions. Hey, maybe you should sell your WK to someone in Alberta, and then when you come for a 3-gun match, you can like use it, and that kind of a thing. That's what a lot of people are talking about the U.S. right now. Especially if they're close to the border and they have like friends and family across the border, they're just like, nah, move them all over across the border. Just do all your shooting over there because it's just safer, right?
Yeah.
In terms of his other question, for his other prized gear, the Shadow 2 is stuck with you. You can't sell it. You can't do anything with it right now. It's yours. You could probably surrender it, but don't.
Oh no.
And we're primarily like with our last show, we were talking about like SKSs, M1 Garands, WKs. Like, what do you do with those? Do you sell them right now? I've been watching the used market. So there were a lot of people who were trying to panic sell. They're not really reducing their prices that much. No. They're all asking like retail or even a little bit above retail right now.
Yeah. Well,
they're not that panicked.
I didn't cut price on mine. I mean, I put it up for $1,400 just because with everything that's in it. But yeah, there's a bunch that are just straight factory for like $1,000, $1,100 for the Gen 1s.
They're not feeling the pinch right now. Yeah, maybe they will at some point. Maybe if the amendment gets into C21, because like one of the other questions he was asking, can you get a pundit in to see like how quickly this things could move along? Like it could move really quickly. Yeah. If the amendment gets in and they push it through, they could push it through in this month if they really want to.
Yeah, I think I saw someone asked Tracy about that, and she said, yeah, it all depends on when they decide to actually take a vote on allowing it into the amendment, and then it could be over real quick.
Yep. Yeah. They have full support from now on the amendments. Some of the things that changed since our last show on the amendment, some of the guys on Reddit were saying that they mailed their NDP people, and they said, we are not going to support this. And one person said the bloc isn't going to support the amendment either, because the amendment has like straight up hunting rifles, single shot and bolt action hunting rifles in it. So they might not want to go forward just on that basis. Like they have no problem throwing all the semi-auto guys under the bus, but they might have stopped short of those. That may be what's happening. We don't know though.
Yeah, to be seen.
We don't know how they're actually going to vote. Yeah.
Because
what they say and what they do could be two very different things. So
and like when it comes to the NDP, their rural members probably would like really desperately not want to get this to go through because it's going to get them on their shit list with their constituents. But the urban ones don't care. Like the NDP is supporting of Bill C21, so is the bloc. So they have the votes to move it through. It's just a question of whether this amendment gets in or not. Yeah, hard to say. Hard to say what's happening. Adnan is saying in Saskatchewan, the Saskatchewan NDP sided with the SK party in opposing the amendment. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. That's really the critical part here. If that amendment gets in, then they ban like 1 million semi-auto firearms. And if it doesn't, they only ban a few 100,000. It's not better.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, next one here from Josh. I'll just take this one. It doesn't take long to send these. Step 1 of the CCFR action plan complete. And he sent along pictures of envelopes. He's done his mailing. He's mailed his MPs to tell them about how bad of an idea this is. I think it's a good idea for everyone. So go to Caliber Mag, go to their politics section. They have the letters there. Do your own riff off of it. If you want to save time, just copy paste, slap your name on it, put it in an envelope, it's free. You don't even need a stamp on there. You can freely mail your MPs and shoot it off. The other thing to think about is to mail to your councillors, mail to your provincial politicians, because they might be able to do something. Like for Alberta, we have something we can do about that, and we can mail our provincial authorities about that. If you're in somewhere like Saskatchewan or Manitoba or BC, maybe you can do that as well. I don't have any hope that anyone in Quebec would really care about this, or Ontario. You can mail them anyways.
Yeah.
Let them know you're mad, but they don't care.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about being polite and not coming off as a nutcase?
Please don't come across as a nutcase. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not going to help our cause. But be like factual and like, hey, I think this is what you should do about this.
Yeah.
They're going to send you a form letter back, so don't put too much thought into it. But like, try to be simple, try to be to the point.
Yeah.
Jen saying also send to the senator for your area as well.
I don't like the senator from my area, so I'm not gonna.
It's not like you're asking them out for a beer. You're trying to get them to.
It's not gonna do shit for us. My MP, sure, my MP like on side, but yeah, nothing he can do about it. Cool, yeah, definitely. Write your letters. We have an affiliate link to Cabela's on the side of slamfireradio.com, our website. By using that link to help support the show, we'll talk about your anonymous purchases once per month, or ish, something like that. Some people were buying some weird stuff. Thanks to our supporters on Patreon. YouTube, do we have any interesting comments on there? We'll get them next week. We'll double up next week.
Yeah, I was delayed and I didn't populate. Yeah, stuff. People pointing out this list indicates that even the GSG 22 long rifles will be banned as well. So they're not simply sticking to centerfire rifles.
No.
Even with the Irma EM1 being banned as an M1 carbine variant, they 100% want all the guns, just going to do it one step at a time. And this is actually a very giant leap that they're taking right now.
Yeah. Clockwork Bike was saying my Gersan does not cycle 1 ounce target loads. Is there a recoil spring that would fix this? I guess.
Well, we had a commenter that said that the M2 recoil spring did actually help, but
maybe use the M2 recoil spring then.
Maybe it might be possible. They're cheap. You can buy one and try.
We got Tony was saying he's honored to be mentioned in the podcast.
Yeah, he had a bunch of them, but here's one. This is kind of conspiracy theory level, but they can just have a team 3D printing over 5-round mags on demand. Design a reliable magazine isn't easy. 3D scan and model a larger magazine isn't that hard.
You know, on Gunpost, there's a guy that's selling like mags for expensive or deprecated firearms, and they're all 3D printed. He's got stuff like Tika T3 mags. He's got REM 73 mags, some like extended, that kind of a thing.
Oh yeah,
and they're all just 3D printed. It is like a legitimate thing. You can 3D print mags, and it's good because like there's some firearms where like the replacement mags are super expensive because they don't make them anymore, right? Imagine just 3D printing new ones.
Yeah. It's also saying everyone run Troy's pump AR. I believe then they would say this thing can be run at speed illegal. Well, just for the fact that it's
rapid fire is what they call them in Australia, and the rapid fire doesn't get defined. It's just like, I don't know, lever action shotgun pump. Oh, that's rapid fire. It's all rapid fire.
Yeah, you're shooting it faster than I like.
That's basically what it is. Yeah. Tony was saying, is it just me or does Ballistol have a unique smell to it? I do like it on the exterior firearms. We mentioned that last week.
Yeah.
No.
I'm already too far down here. Adan was saying some of the Liberal MPs' responses to the Liberals are apparently all scripted. We're hoping that some would grow a spine and question this ludicrous amendment, but they can't speak against their master's wishes. Yeah, the politicians will script the responses. Mike was mentioning that the Subaru Bumpmaster is on the list. Yeah,
we covered that.
Yeah.
Yep, yeah, that was mentioned.
Yeah. Awesome. Nothing on Instagram, no Facebook reviews or anything like that. If you'd like to email the show, send an email to slamfireradio@gmail.com. If you'd like to help with supporting the show, go to patreon.com/slamfireradio and help us there. New supporters, Shane and Travis. I don't know if I got your addresses. If you're around us, if you're going to go to a gun show or something like that, just give us a heads up and we'll bring some patches and stickers for you. And we're almost done our packing lists for Patreon. So if you're on Patreon, we're going to be uploading like Excel packing lists that have all the things that we pack up to take to the range. Shout outs or recommendations?
I'll shout out the Tracy and Rod for that press conference they held the other day.
Awesome.
Very good.
That's a great one. Yeah.
I would say my shout out is to everyone sending letters because every little bit helps. So
squeaky wheel gets a grease. That's the
Yep.
sad and for the reason why special interest groups get their way is because they're just a pain in the ass for politicians. We just have to be a pain in the ass.
good point. Yeah.
All right. With that, check us out at Gunners Canada. Like us on Facebook. Give us a review on Facebook. Maybe we'll read it on the show. Join the CCFR, and we will see you next week.
See you next week.
Good night, Kelly. Good night, Dave.